All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the single most important concept in all of Excel financial modeling. I'm serious. This is the bedrock, the architectural foundation of every great spreadsheet. And once you get this, it will completely change the way you work.
And look, that's not just hype. We're talking about the one thing that truly draws a line in the sand between the amateurs and the pros. It's a secret that the top analysts, the CFOs, the people building multi-million-dollar models, they use this every single day.
So what is it? What's this incredibly powerful idea? What's the one thing you absolutely have to master to make your models dynamic, scalable, and pretty much bulletproof?
It's all about mastering cell references. That's it. I know, it might sound a little basic, but really understanding the difference between relative, absolute, and mixed references, well, it's a total game changer. And in this explainer, we're going to cover everything you need to know.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this. We'll start with why this is the professional secret. Then we'll break down that crucial difference between relative and absolute. After that, we'll get into the real power of mixed references, check out the pros toolkit, and wrap it all up with the one golden rule you have to remember.
So let's start at square one. You can't build a skyscraper without a rock-solid foundation, and when it comes to financial modeling, this is it.
First off, what even is a cell reference? Well, it's super simple. It's just Excel's address system. It's how it finds the cell's location. When you type equals A1 plus B1, you're just using two cell references to tell Excel, hey, go grab the number in this box and add it to the number in that box. Easy enough, right?
All right, here we go. This is the main event. Genuinely understanding the difference between relative and absolute references is probably the most important thing we're going to talk about today.
So let's break this down. On the left, you've got relative references. See? No dollar signs. This is Excel's default setting. Think of it as being flexible. It moves and adjusts when you copy a formula. But on the right, you have absolute references. They are locked in place with those dollar signs on both the column and the row. That's your anchor. It never changes no matter where you copy that formula.
Let's see what that actually looks like. Check out the formula in cell C2. It's taking the revenue from A2 and multiplying it. Now, when you drag that formula down, Excel is smart. It automatically updates the reference. So in cell C3, it becomes A3, and C4, it becomes A4. That's the beauty of relative references. They save you a ton of time.
But what if you have one single number, like a tax rate, that you want to apply to everything? Look at cell B1. That 30% is our main assumption. So in our formula, we take the revenue from A3, but we multiply it by B1. And notice those dollar signs, $B, $1. That locks it in. So when we copy this formula down, the A3 part correctly changes to A4, but the reference to B1, it stays put, it's anchored. This, right here, is the core of building models based on assumptions.
Okay, if you've got that, you're ready to take it to the next level. If relative is flexible and absolute is locked, then mixed references, well, they give you surgical precision. This is where you get total control over your formulas.
And there are basically two flavors. You can lock just the column, like $A1. This means when you copy the formula sideways, it will always point to column A. But if you copy it down, the row number can change. Or you can lock just the row, like $1. Now, the row is totally fixed, but the column is free to change as you copy it across.
So, why on earth does this matter? Because with mixed references, you can build these incredibly powerful tables. You might have heard of a sensitivity analysis. By writing just one formula in the top left corner, then you just copy it across the entire grid. It's clean, it's efficient, and frankly, it's how all the pros do it.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do you actually use this stuff quickly and accurately? Let's talk about the actual tools of the trade.
Please meet your new best friend, the F4 key. You've got to stop typing dollar signs by hand. It's slow and it's a recipe for mistakes. Instead, just click on a cell reference inside your formula and hit F4. The first press locks everything. Press it again, it locks just the row. A third time locks just the column, and a fourth time brings you right back to the beginning. Cycling through with F4 is fast, it's efficient, and it's absolutely essential.
Mastering this stuff helps you avoid all those classic beginner mistakes. The biggest one? Hard coding a number like 0.30 directly into a formula. Don't do it. Always put your assumptions in a separate cell and reference them. And the other big one is forgetting to lock your references before you copy a formula. Just take a half second and ask yourself, what here needs to stay put? It'll save you hours of headaches.
So what's the secret? How do you build that muscle memory, that instinct to get this right every single time, without even having to think about it?
Well, it really all comes down to one simple, incredibly powerful guiding principle. If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this.
Here it is, the golden rule. Assumptions get absolute references. Any key driver in your model, a tax rate, an interest rate, a growth rate, it needs to live in its own cell and be locked down tight with those dollar signs. The calculations, on the other hand, they get relative or mixed references so they can flow and adjust as you copy them.
And I want to be clear, this isn't just some tiny technical detail. This is everything. Following this rule is what makes your models robust, dynamic, transparent, and easy for someone else to understand. It's truly the difference between a fragile spreadsheet that breaks if you look at it wrong and a professional-grade model that can stand up to real scrutiny.
By really getting this architecture down, you've laid the foundation to build some truly powerful tools. The next step from here is to start adding logic and intelligence. So the real question is, now that you've got this, are you ready to start building models that don't just calculate things, but actually help you make better decisions?